कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा रस बिहारी राधा रस बिहारी राधा रस बिहारी राधे जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण भक्त हनुमान सीताराम लक्ष्मण भक्त हनुमान जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा सुभद्रा जय सुदर्शन जय राधा जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा प्रभुपादा श्रील गुरु दीवान तगार हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल तगार हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतेर्मुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्री गुरुन् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथामृतं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च नमामो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्नति नामने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमामो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्त सिद्धांत सरस्वती नामने श्रीवार्षभानवी देवी दैत्याय कृपाब्धये कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञान दायिने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्वल प्रेमाढ श्री रूपानुग भक्तिद श्री गौर करुणा शक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्ते दीनतारिणे रूपानुग विरुद्धाप सिद्धांत द्वांत हारिणे नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्बारसाम्बोधे पादाम्बुजायते नमः नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानंद नामिने गौरशक्ति स्वरूपाय रूपानुगवरायते गौरविभ्रम भूमि स्वं निर्दिष्ट सज्जन प्रिय वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेमा प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतिशे नमः पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपा स्वरूपकं भक्तावतार भक्ताख्यां नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपीश गोपिका कान्ता राधिका कान्त नमोस्तुते जयतां सुरतौ पङ्गुर्मम मण्डमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदाम्बोजौ राधा मदन मोहनौ दिव्यात् वृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमदा श्रीमद्रत्नाकर सिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद् राधा शील गोविंद देवो प्रेष्ठालभिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि श्रीमान् रासरसाम्बी वंशे बत तत्स्थित कर्षन् वेणुसुना गोपी गोपीनाथ श्री स्तुने तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So today from chapter 2 we are just gonna discuss verse 28, 29 and 30. Verse 28. अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्ता मध्यानि भारत, अव्यक्तानि धनान्येव तत्र का परिदेवना। अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्ता मध्यानि भारत, अव्यक्तानि धनान्येव तत्र का परिदेवना। अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्ता मध्यानि भारत, अव्यक्तानि धनान्येव तत्र का परिदेवना। हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा। के चंद्रा।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु।
हरे कृष्णा।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्तं मध्यानि भारत, अव्यक्तानि
निधनानेव
तत्र का परिदेवना।
व्यक्तम is not the व्यक्तमध्यानि, व्यक्ता not व्यक्तम। अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत, not व्यक्तम, व्यक्तमध्यानि,
व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत।
okay, right.
हाँ प्रभु।
हरे कृष्णा। हरि बोल। right प्रभु।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु।
कृष्णा।
अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत, अव्यक्तानि धनान्येव तत्र का परिदेवना। हरे कृष्णा।
ओके, हरे कृष्णा। थैंक यू। स्निग्धा जी।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु।
हरे कृष्णा।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत, अव्यक्तानि धनानि एव तत्र का परिदेवना। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
राइट, हरे कृष्ण। रेणुका माता जी।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्तं ज्ञानि भारत, अव्यक्तं निधनान्ये तत्र का परिदेवना।
ओके, राइट। हरे कृष्ण। रम्या माता जी। Okay. Renuka Mataji, you can read the translation.
All created beings are unmanifest in their beginning, manifest in their interim state, and unmanifest again when they are annihilated. So what need is there for lamentation?
Right.
Krishna.
Kenu.
Hare Krishna. Verse 29. आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम्, आश्चर्यवत् वदति तथैव चान्यः, आश्चर्यवच्चैनम् अन्यः शृणोति, श्रुत्वापि एनं वेद न चैव कश्चित् आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम् आश्चर्यवद् वदति तथैव चान्या आश्चर्यवच्चैनम् अन्यशृणोति श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित् आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम् आश्चर्यवद् वदति तथैव चान्या आश्चर्यवच्चैनम् अन्यशृणोति श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Chandra.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
आश्चर्येव पश्याति कश्चिदेव
Asyadyavat pashyati.
आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेवम्
Enam. Kashidenam.
कश्चिदेवम् आश्चर्यवद्वाति
Vadadi.
तद्
Asyadyavat vadadi.
आश्चर्यवद्वदति
Tathaiva chanyam. Tathaiva chanyam.
तथैव चान्या आश्चर्यवत् चैनम्
Can help her, I think.
प्रणोति
आश्चर्यवत् अन्यः
आश्चर्यवेनं चैनमन्यः शृणोति
श्रुत्वा अप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु.
Hare Krishna. Bit struggle, right? Okay, Ravi.
आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम् आश्चर्यवद्वति तथैव चान्य आश्चर्यवञ्चैनमन्यऋणोति श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्.
Okay, right. Okay, Snigdha Maji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु.
Hare Krishna.
आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम् आश्चर्यवद् वदति तथैव चान्यः आश्चर्यवच्चैनम् अन्यः शृणोति श्रुत्वापि अन्य वेद न चैव कश्चित्. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु.
Hare Krishna. Good. Okay, Rami Maji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु.
Hare Krishna.
आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम् आश्चर्यवत् वदति तदैव चान्यः आश्चर्यवच्चैनमन्यः शृणोति श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्.
Okay, right. Can read the translation also.
Some look on the soul as amazing, some describe him as amazing, and some hear of him as amazing, while others, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him at all.
Hare
Right.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Right.
Verse 30. देहे नित्यम् अवध्योऽयम् देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि. देहे नित्यम् अवध्योऽयम् देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि. देहे नित्यम् अवध्योऽयम् देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि. Hare Krishna.
Right. Okay, right, fine. Right, Chandra.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु.
Hare Krishna.
देहि नित्यम् अवध्योऽयम् देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न तं शोचितुमर्हसि.
Okay, right.
हरे कृष्णा
Good.
प्रभु.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Ravi.
हरे
Hare Krishna.
देहि नित्यं वध्योऽयं देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुम् अर्हसि.
Hare Krishna. Good. Okay, Snigdha Maji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु. देहि नित्यम् अवध्योऽयम् देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुम् अर्हसि.
Right. Fine. Okay, Renuka Maji.
Dehi nityam avadyoyam देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुम् अर्हसि.
Okay, right. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay, Ramyamaji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
देहि नित्यम् अवध्योऽयं देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Right. Chandra, read the translation.
Okay, Prabhu.
Why you are not wearing tilak, both of you? Both of you are not wearing tilak.
Prabhu in class li vaigita karida.
Right. Okay, Chandra, read the translation.
Considering or your
specific
duty as a Kshatriya, you should know that there is no better.
Which is the translation you're reading? It's 30,
Sorry,
verse
Prabhu.
30.
O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body is eternal, and can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve for any creature. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Right.
Krishna. So here, from 28th verse, let's discuss. So here Krishna is saying to Arjuna, all created things are manifested in their beginning, manifest in their interim state, and unmanifest again when annihilated. So what need is there for lamentation? So here it's very clearly with example and purpose Prabhupada has given and explained the sloka very well. So here it said, in the beginning, the being is unmanifested, then later on manifest, and again it's so I think, and we can start with an example. So when person is planning to build a huge building, which might have 100 floors. So like that example is there in the purport also, a huge building. So for that building, iron might be required, some cements, and like many things are required to build that. So all these things has to be taken from the earth itself. So it has to be taken from the earth, and only then this building can be built. So first of all these things we get it from inside the earth, which is an unmanifested stage. And then the building which is built is, we can consider it as manifested. And then again, like after even that building might have some time, like till 100 years, or okay, let it be till 200 years it might stay. Then after that it won't be safe for anyone to stay in that, and that such a huge building is dangerous. So again it will fall down or something, like it might just fall down, or anyone will just clean or take away that building. So again the thing is coming back to the earth. At the beginning stage it was taken from the earth, and at last again it is coming back. It is unmanifested, it is again coming back to the earth. So here that is why so since it's a continuation, here Krishna is saying you no need to lament. He's saying to Arjuna, there is no need of like sadness. It's like a cycle which is coming back to the earth itself. So what was not available there yesterday is available today, and again that won't be available tomorrow. So it's like we can see a cycle. So this whole srishti which is made by God, it will be available for some time, and again it will disappear from here after that particular time period. So here in purport, in the starting itself, one thing is mentioned. There are two types of philosophers. So one category is who believe that the Atma exists, and other one there is no Atma. That's just something people just say. The Mayavadi philosophers usually do say that. So now let's take both these cases. And let's see in both these cases why we are not why we should not lament. There is no need for the lamentation. So now let's take the case of Atma does not exist. Okay, let's take that. If there is no Atma, then why are we disturbed? One day the body is left, then we'll obviously, we all are very sad, we are getting disturbed when one dies, or even if we think that okay, one day we also have to go away from this earth. So when such thought is coming in our mind or something like that happens, we are totally disturbed and we are in a very we will be totally sad about thinking by thinking that. So only this body is there now. This body is made through this body is made one day, we are taking birth, and similarly after some time one day we have to die. So it's like a newborn child is born, and we just give him some toys. It might be of some steel or clay or plastic, and while playing suddenly, like if Chandra is having some kind of toy to play, and from that toy one day suddenly, which is getting filling, she has mistakenly or somehow it broke. So she will be like crying tremendously. Oh, that toy, I was liking that very much. It was my favorite toy and it broke. So what will the parents say to her? Okay, don't worry. Why are you crying for such a small toy? It's okay. Let's buy a new one. But still, if she is crying for the same thing, is there any use of that? We can't do anything. That toy can't be just made again in that stage. So there is so here from there is what should we say, by lamenting there is no use. Similarly, now let's take the case of the one who believed that Atma exists, Atma is immortal. Now let's take the that case. We already know that. Sorry, just before that. We know that this body is made of that Panchatattva, Bhumi, Rapana, Vayu, from earth, water, fire, air, ether. This body is made. So these five things, when combined, the body is made. And when destroyed, these five things are going back into that particular that stage itself. The water will go back to that water, and the fire will go back to that fire. So it is going back to the same stage, and all those tattvas are existing here. It's not going anywhere. Then why to lament? All those are there here. And now let's take the case of when Atma is there. So again, even if Atma, we believe that Atma is there, in that case also, is there any, why are we supposed to lament? So the one who believes that Atma is there, they might be knowing that there is no relation between the body and Atma. We might have learned that in previous lokas also. There is no relation. It's just a dress for the body is just a dress to Atma. When we are born, or everyone is born, even a small living entity is born, it is born with a dress. As we humans, we have born with this body. Otherwise, an ant with its ant Atma is born with that particular body. So everyone here in this earth, when he or she is taking birth, or trees also, they might be having their particular body when they are born. They are having that body as a dress. Everyone is born with a dress in this world. So why to lament when that dress is getting torn, or like one day we all are going to get old, and after that time, our time span, we have to die. So are we just, if this dress is getting dirty and it's torn, is there any use for just, oh, I just this dress has been torn, I wanted that dress? Is there any use just by sitting and crying that I wanted that dress? No, we'll just leave and buy another new one. Similarly, this process will go on for Atma also. If today this Atma might be having a body of ant, or tomorrow it might be having a body of a tree, or that cycle will go on. It is like we are booking a train ticket, and we are having a seat. But when we are reaching in a particular destination, we'll leave that train, we'll leave that seat and go. And similarly, if we are just going to a hotel and booking a room, and we are getting a coat or blanket and all, we are getting there, and we are just spending our time, and then we are leaving. We can't take all those things along with us. We can't take that blanket, all that cot and other things we can't take. And similarly, train seats can't be taken with us. And even if like when we are given while booking a ticket for train, we might be spending much more money and getting a third AC seat, and we'll be enjoying going. Or if some variations in money, will be taking a second AC or general ticket we might be buying. And when we are reaching that particular destination, we have to leave. We can't just stay there. Okay, I'm just comfortable here, I'll just stay in this train. No one is just that TT will throw you out from there. So like if you have a ticket from Bombay to Delhi, you have to get down there in Delhi itself. You can't just go, if the train is going to Punjab, you can't just go to Punjab and get down there. You have a ticket from Bombay to Delhi, then obviously we have to get down there. So you can't just lament, only from this ticket I could just only come till Delhi and all. We can't lament. Accordingly, the karmas, our previous karmas, or the whatever, we have some karmas. So according to that, we might be getting the body like of a cow or a girl or a boy or a bird or a devatas. Even the body of devatas or asuras are not permanent. That is also temporary. So there will be allotted time, like a ticket which we might have booked from Bombay to Delhi or Bombay to Gujarat or somewhere like that. We might only till that time, till that distance, we can own that body, or we can own that dress, or we can own that particular seat in the train and go. And we can't just lament, okay, I have to just, I'm just leaving this body. Atma is there. Only the dress has been removed. So there is no need for lamentation. So the actual problem is, we are like in like I said, as I said, the example of the hotel or the train. If you like that seat during the particular seat in the train, or if you like the particular room in the hotel, for that just you might have spent a particular night in the compartment or the hotel. You are getting attached to that, and it's really a total rubbish that sitting there in the same seat or owning that particular room in the hotel for whole lifetime, it will be total rubbish. When we hear that, even we do feel that, okay, it's a rubbish thing that like if we like that hotel room, we can't just stay there for long, only for a period we can stay there. So we are getting attached to these things. We have been allotted, even in this human life, we have been allotted with some time, and in that particular time we are getting attached to all these material things, and it comes the time for leaving. We are just sitting and getting like totally, oh, I have to leave this body. So similarly, when we compare this, we can understand that it's totally a rubbish to just sit and lament when the time of death comes. So, and even if another example, if we say, during this corona time, you do have a particular position, you might be a manager in that company. So that company is providing the manager, okay, he's a very important person, he has to work there. So company is saying that, okay, we'll just provide you, just don't come through public transport and all, we'll just provide you a car and a driver. You just go and come in that car, and you'll be safe, and that company's work will also go on. So the manager is saying, no, I just don't want the driver. If in case he is getting corona positive, I will be also affected. So I'll just drive by my own and come to office, and he's just doing that. And now after 2 years, he is leaving that company. So he can't just take that car along with him and go leave that company. He has to keep that car, give that car back to the company and go. So just this is it. Even the life is like that. So we have to leave this world. It's just undress. So there is no lamentation is not required. So if the just consider it as a dress. And yeah, and Parpat also, Prabhupada is giving a very good example. Like it's like a dream. In a dream, you are thinking that, okay, I'm a prime minister, I have been elected as a prime minister, I am taking my oath and all. And again, when the time of waking comes, the alarm just makes the sound and your dream has been destroyed. So in dream, you were a prime minister or a president or whatever, or you might be in a particular position, but actually that is not happening. Similarly, this body is a dream for Atma. It is nothing is real. Everything is like a dream. So now both the cases, like even if one believes in Atma or if one does not believe in Atma, here it is advised to Arjuna that in both cases there is no need for the lamentation. You just go and fight, remove the adharma. See, adharma is happening there. We know that. So just go forward. It's an order of Krishna also. It's the order of God. So similarly in our life also, we have to follow we have to follow the Bhagavad Gita from the correct source, from our Guru, from Krishna. Whatever Krishna says, we have to follow that and live accordingly. Okay. So now when we come to 29th sloka, some look on the soul as amazing, some describe him as amazing, and some hear of him as amazing, while others, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him. So now Krishna here is giving more knowledge about Atma to Arjuna. So see, this Atma is really amazing, right? Now what if we say, like, why amazing? A person who is driving a car, he might be like 4 to 5 feet. That the height or that size will be, that person will be driving a car. And similarly, one person who is driving a huge ship, even that person will be like ordinary human being, will be taking forward, the ship will be taken forward. Like big ship, so a very huge human being, there is nothing like that. And like even in the case of plane, the human itself, who might be having maximum 6 feet, okay, we can say he will only be taking the plane forward into that particular destination. So, and again, in Parpat also it's given, the fact that the atomic soul is within the body of a gigantic animal, in the body of a gigantic banyan tree, and also in microbic germs, millions and billions of which occupy only an inch of space, is certainly very amazing. Means the Atma which is there in a very big banyan tree, or in a small ant, or in a bacteria, or whatever, or even in humans, or in a big fish, in a small fish, the size of the Atma is same. Only the dress size varies, but the Atma size is very, very small. Even in the size is same, even in a huge banyan tree, or even in an ant, in an elephant, everything, the size of Atma is same. So it's really an amazing thing, right? About when we hear about that. So just imagine that the same size of Atma in elephant and in an ant, in bacteria, which is not even bacteria are not visible, only from our naked eye. We require a microscope to just see all those. So now still these things are not understood by a man. When we say, okay, this thing like the size of Atma, when we just explain all these things, not only this, about the things in Bhagavad Gita, when we explain, he does not understand, a person might not understand that. So there might be two reasons that that person is not understanding. One might be due to the lack of knowledge. He might not be understanding all these things, all this. But a man who is not having knowledge and he gets sick, he's having fever, automatically, if he's not having much knowledge about that fever or what medicines are to be taken, he has to go to a doctor and consult and has to take a medicine. But at the same time, if the person is saying that, okay, I'm not having any knowledge about like a sickness I'm going through, I'm not going to a doctor also, then it will be a very horrible situation. So similarly, in our life, if we are not having a knowledge, we have to approach a guru and just take his prescription how to lead a life. Otherwise, okay, even if I don't know, I'm not just going to go anywhere, it will be very difficult. So that might be one reason. Or second reason might be here in Bhagavad, I think in second paragraph, it's clearly written. Some people who are inclined to hear about the soul may be attending lectures in good association, but sometimes owing to ignorance, they are misguided by acceptance of super soul and the atomic soul as one without distinction of magnitude. It is very difficult to find a man who perfectly understands the position of the super soul, the atomic soul, their perspective, functions, and relationship, and all other major and minor details. And it is still more difficult to find a man who has actually derived full benefit from knowledge of soul and who is able to describe the position of soul in different aspects. So a person sometimes might be getting the complete details. He might be knowing the complete knowledge of the soul, but still he's not ready to accept that. So, and another thing, Manushyanam Sahasreshu. So it's said that when 1,000 people are might be getting this knowledge, and only one person might be following that. So it's like all might not accept and follow it. Only the lucky person will be getting it, understanding their knowledge and moving on forward. So, and another thing is many of the people like they want to know about that, they will be having that idea in their mind that, okay, I just have to follow this and move forward, but the source might not be proper. So they might not be getting the correct source, then that also gone right. If we are not getting a correct source. So many of the people, like Bhagavad Gita's, there are many versions available in the market. In a library itself, if you just go and find, you might find a number of Bhagavad Gitas. I think a library, a small room won't be enough to find different versions of Bhagavad Gita. But if a person who is not selecting a correct one, then, and if he is getting a wrong source, then he is not in a proper way. He is not just traveling for a proper route. So yeah, and in other sources, or when we go into different places, even those the people who are just teaching Bhagavad Gita to others, actually they even might be knowing the difference between the body and Atma. Okay, in Mayavadi philosophy, they will say the Atma exists and all, they might say, but at last they will see that Atma and Paramatma is same. Then everything gone right. The knowledge which we are getting is there is no use of it. It's not like not a correct source. So, and if such a knowledge is given that you are Atma and you are Paramatma itself, then that person is in a great problem. So, and it's a great aparadha also. And many people are not ready to accept that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A person who is not just even ready to accept that, then even see, it's very difficult to come into this track into a proper way. It is very difficult. That is what just I said before, mentioned before, that Manushanam Sastri, in 1,000 people, only 1% might get. It's the surety is not given. So it is like a man with a great difficulty. He is earning money and just keeping that. He is earning that money and saving it. And after 10 years or 20 years, he's taking that money and just going to the market to buy gold for his daughter, for daughter's marriage. And such a huge amount he is taking. And when he is buying the gold, that person might have just tricked him and given him a fake gold. Just think that such a huge amount of him has gone like wasted. The effort which he had put all these 20 years, it is like drawing a line in a water. So similarly, a person might he wants to know that he wants to know about this, he wants to follow this, but wrong informations if he gets, then it is gone. It's like a person who is in the midst of the river and a crocodile is there in, nearby him in the middle of the river, and he has to just swim and get back to the land. But at the flow at the end, both the ends are like it's a heavy flow, so even he can't escape from that and just getting back. So the situation is like that. When a person is getting information from a wrong person or a wrong place. So similarly, the information, the or Bhagavad Gita which you are choosing, or the which you are selecting, must be correct. It must be from the correct authorities. And before that, you have to accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead. You have to accept all the teachings in the Bhagavad Gita, and might be from the correct parampara. And like we are lucky to have that. So we have, and the most important thing is, many of the people around us are getting a very wrong knowledge about all these things. There are many Bhagavad Gita classes going on outside, but might not be in a proper way. As said before, some misleading things might be given to them. So it is our duty that we have to give them a proper knowledge and even bring them to this, bring them into a correct track. So yes, even if we try to bring many people into this, they might not be they might not be ready to accept that, okay, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is what the greatest difficulty is. And see, even he must be lucky. Even if we are showing him a correct track, he might not accept that, because according to his past karmas, as I said, the example of the river, he has to escape, but danger in both the sides. So similarly, luck is required, Krishna's mercy is required, Srila Prabhupada's mercy is required. And see, sacrifices in that sloka, it's given that the Vedic wisdom encourages self-realization on the basis of non-existence of the material body. Therefore, in either case, whether one believes in the existence of but it is also required a great deal of penance and sacrifice, either in this life or in previous life, before one is able to accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna can, however, be known as much by the causeless mercy of pure devotee and by no other way. So Krishna's mercy is required, and just sacrifice. We must be ready to sacrifice, or otherwise association with pure devotees is required. And in 30th sloka, or descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve for any living being. So here it's a summary, summarization from 11th sloka to 30th sloka. It was a part. So here, that part here, Krishna is concluding. So here Krishna is that conclusion part itself, like whatever we discussed till now. So the Lord now concludes the chapter of instruction on the immutable spirit soul. In describing the immortal soul in various ways, Lord Krishna establishes that soul is immortal and body is temporary. Repeatedly, this thing is like in every sloka, the same thing as here has been repeated, but still many of them don't get that. They don't accept also. Therefore, Arjuna, as a Kshatriya, should not abandon his duty out of fear that his grandfather and teacher Bhishma and Drona. That is what here again Krishna is saying, that there is no need for any lamentation. It's your duty. You are a Kshatriya. So, and other explanations which were given till now, even that is also applicable. So there is no need to lament. On the authority of Krishna, one has to believe that there is a soul different from the material body. So, okay, on the authority of Krishna, one has to believe. I think, am I audible to everyone?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, yes, Mataji.
Okay, one call came, so I thought, okay. On the authority of Sri Krishna, one has to believe that there is a soul different from the material body, not that there is no such thing as soul. So, one has to believe that soul is different from material body, and not there is no such thing as soul, or that living symptoms develop at a certain stage of material maturity, resulting from the interaction of chemicals. So we can just think that it's totally rubbish believing so. Though the soul is immortal, violence is not encouraged. But at the time of war, it is not discouraged when there is actual need for it. So actually they were adharmis, so that is required. It was the duty of Arjuna to establish the dharma. And even he is a Kshatriya too, so it is his duty. That need must be justified in terms of sanction of the Lord and not capriciously. So here it is all the main thing which we have to highlight is sanction of the Lord is required. So yeah, that's all, Prabhu.
All right, thank you. You've given some very nice examples also. Good. I think devotees have understood very nicely. If there are any question, and we can ask. Any more clarification is required, please don't hesitate to ask. Because here ends our Sankhya Yoga is over now. The description about the body and soul from 11th verse 30 verse 20 verses. So that's over now. There should not be any confusion with regards to quality of the nature and features of soul and the nature of body also. Okay, right. Thank you. Okay, Chandra, you can sing the song. Nasim Kritin can do.
Okay, Prabhu. Namaste Narasimhaya Praladadadaye Hiranyakashi Vakshaha Shilatanghanakalaye Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha Yato Yami Tato Narsimha Bahir Narsimha Kritaye Narsimha Narasimha Matim Charanam Prabhati Tavakara Kamala Pare Nagha Albuta Shrinka Lelita Hiranyakashipo Tanubringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jajakadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल 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 उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं जलं तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीष्मं भद्रं नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं जलं तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीष्मं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं जलं तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीष्मं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् श्री नरसिंह जय नरसिंह जय जय श्री नरसिंह प्रहलादेश जय पद्मामुका पद्मवृंगा श्री नरसिंह जय जय श्री नरसिंह प्रहलादेश जय पद्मामुका पद्मवृंगा।
भक्ति विनाशकारी श्री नरसिंह देव भगवान की वैष्णव भक्ति श्रेष्ठ पड़ा महाराज की गो प्रेमानंदे वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च
कृपा पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की आचार्य दास ठाकुर की
जय
श्रील प्रभुपाद की
जय
गो प्रेमानंदे।